Hey everybody, Joe Joseph here for thedailysheeple.com, and this is your news shot, SHTFplan.com. A Chinese factory slave explains why manufacturing jobs are never coming back to America, no matter what President Trump says. Very, very riveting title, and one that is rooted in truth, as we are not going to see manufacturing come back the way that President Trump envisions it, unless, of course, you have a total breakdown in global trade and we have to become 100% self-sufficient. That's the only way that I can actually foresee this happening. And the article goes on to say, while we all love President Trump's campaign pledge to bring jobs back to America, there are powerful economic forces at work that suggest that the shift to cheap labor is pretty much irreversible. Yes, Trump has spoken with leaders of some America's biggest companies, and he's been successful with getting some of the leaders of America's biggest companies, and yet he's successfully getting those chief executives to commit to creating and keeping a few thousand jobs here and there. But when you consider all the competition out there in foreign labor and the fact that, you know, to manufacture things here in the United States, it costs so much more to do that. That and the fact that consumers, and I hate to use that term because it's derogatory to me, but people that like to purchase lots of things, lots of cheap plastic trinkets and electronic gadgetry, you can't have that and can't have as much of it if we're manufacturing it all here in the United States. Because, unfortunately, to manufacture them and sell that stuff at a cost that you currently pay, you would have to, you basically couldn't do it. You need to have that cheap labor to do it. So a Chinese factory worker explained exactly why there's no way that the U.S. can compete with the near slave-like conditions found in foreign factories. And by the way, you can also find it in our private prison industrial complex. That is a thriving industry here in the United States, and one that is constantly fed by things like the war on drugs and everything else. But this is what this Chinese slave said. Zhang walked CNBC through his decision to spend 6 weeks in a factory working 12-hour shifts from Monday through Saturday, mostly during the night, and what he discovered along the way. This is what he said, quote, "They just gave me the address of the factory and I just went. I just showed up. When I was there, I saw people holding luggage waiting in long lines, so I just stood in line. And when it was my turn, they asked for my ID, asked to see my hand, and asked me to recite the English alphabet. I got in after that. It took me less than 30 seconds. You don't have to apply. You don't have to have any skills." He says, the first thing I can think of from a labor perspective is that the wages are unacceptable for American workers. So in the factories, I was getting paid about 3,100 yuan or $450 a month. I don't think American workers can accept those kind of wages based on living conditions and prices, said Zhang. And he's absolutely right. Could you imagine, my friends, working 12-hour days, Monday through Saturday, for $450 a month? Could you survive and pay for your family's well-being for $450 a month? And of course, here the answer is resoundingly no. A lot of people out there know during the summer months, your electric bill isn't it's more than $450 a month. So how could you maintain the American cost of or quality of life and still have your cheap trinkets, all of them? You can't. You can't do it making $450 a month. Your health insurance premiums are more than $450 a month. There is a lot that we don't understand about how the economics work. A lot of the people out there, I know those that are watching this, you understand. But the fact remains that unless there is a change in our mindset and we get off of the idea that you have to have a flat screen in every room, that we have to have 52 different tablets and laptops and phones and all this kind of stuff, if we can't live a more simplistic way of life, we will never be self-sufficient here in the United States. And the question really is, do we want to be? And I think the answer is no. And that's evident in our behavior. That's evident in what we buy. And that's evident in how we behave. You know, that's really what it all boils down to. I'm Joe Joseph. This was thedailysheeple.com's news shot. Feel free to comment below and visit our website over at thedailysheeple.com. Have a great day, everybody.